Okay. Let's go. Morning, campers. Right. Let's have a look. Let's see, what can I do? Do a character. Kind of moody. Moody, dominant, and beard. Moody, dominant, and beard. Jawhab, hello Jawhab. Hi, how are you? Don't need to save it. Right. Text folder. I'm hoping to get it done quite quickly, and then if anyone submitted any art, I can take a look at that. I'll take a look now. I've got a request. Rook. Hey Yasmin, hey. I'm just doing some, I'm going to do a character first, I think, just a quick character, and then I'll do some paint overs or something, because I did say I'd do them a while ago. If you got anything you want me to paint over, by the way, the easiest way is, well, you can email them, I'll get them. I'll take a look at my email now, but also Discord. I put my Discord at the top. I should put it in the description, but I don't know how to do it. So the name, my Discord name's at the top. Just add that and I'll get it, and then you can send it that way. It's probably easier. Close this. What we're gonna do today? Yeah, just a character. Maybe a character. I don't know. I'm not very good at the characters, so I'm just gonna riff it. See what it's like. If it's bad, it's bad. It's fine. It's just everything's a study, so that's fine. And then I might do some paint overs if I've got any. If I don't have any, then I'll just carry on with the character, I suppose. Yeah, I'm thinking. Alright. Kind of dominant. Sort of large. Doing what though? Just being dominant. Just being dominant. Big eyebrows, big hair, big beard. More scratchy brush. There we go. I was having issues trying to send the file on Discord. Oh well, thanks for the offer. I just accepted you now, so it might work now that I've accepted you. Maybe try again. If not, then don't worry about it. It's okay. Just I'll try and see what the problem is. Oh wait, I'll set up something. Cool. Yeah, try and send it again. I'll see if I can get it. Let's see, Discord. Yeah, it says you're offline, so I don't know, if you end up sending it, then I'll definitely give it a go, whatever it is. Happy to do so. I learn a lot when I do the paint overs as well, so it's not like it's completely one-sided. I do learn a lot, because it reminds me of what I know, so it's pretty good. Okay, there's a fly in here. Dominant would be more straight on. Dominant would be looking down as well, so let's see. Maria, hello. So perhaps eyes up, looking down. Hello Yusuf, hello everyone. Ooh, Matt, also wondering, do you have a community Discord channel? I do. I made it like a year ago, but it kind of died. I wasn't active enough to keep it active. So I plan on setting up a webcam. I'll link you to the Discord server actually when I get a chance. So I'll be back and forth on here. Got a request from Yasmin, I think. Yasmin, hello, accept you. And after the stream, I'll add you all to the what's it called, Discord server, and then we can do it through there from then on. You plan on setting a webcam? I could do. I wouldn't know where to put it though. I don't know what you want to see because it's all on the screen here and I'm talking about it. So I did consider it when I got my microphone, but again, you'll just be looking at me and like I'm not doing much. I'm just drawing what's on screen. So I would just have to make sure I get dressed every time I stream then. Oh shit, there we go. Nice. Maybe hooded. Sometimes you have to get out of the comfort zone. We want to see a beautiful face. No, thank you. Yeah, you do have to get out of your comfort zone. I try and do it. I do it a lot more now, and I've gotten better because of it. So yeah, definitely get out of your comfort zone as often as you can. I was doing forests and green things, and I thought I had like a fantasy style, but really, all I had was a forest really in my library. Like all I knew how to do was forest, and I thought I had a fancy one when really I didn't. I actually knew a lot less than I thought I did until I started getting out of my comfort zone. I was doing like cities and stuff then for a while, and it made my forest better. So that's definitely something to remember. Danica, hello, my first stream with you. Hello. How are you? You good? If you want a paint over, my Discord is at the top of the chat. I'm not sure if you can scroll up that far. If not, I'll have to repost it. But you can you can send me a request and send me then a paint something you want painted over, and I can do my best. I think I'm going for, what am I going for here? Shoulders. Maybe something like, something at a desk. Oh, some more Discord requests. Accepting all them. Yeah, if you just send your stuff through on Discord, and I'll get to it after this character if I can. Bigger beard, maybe, yeah. Would it be possible to send you a piece for demonstration on value blocking? I have no idea how to work those things. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, send me anything, and I'll improve it in any way. And if you want something specific like value blocking, that's fine too. If you can as well with your piece, yo man, my G, what's up? What's up, James? What's up? Good. I'm all good, man. I'm all good. How are you, mate? You good? What was I saying? Yeah, it'd be good as well if you could send me, when you send me the arts, just send me a little description with it about what your intent was with it, because I can go over it, sure, and I can do like I can improve it technically. Possibly you might even be better than me, but might try and improve it technically, and then that'd be fine. But like if it deters away from what your intent was with the piece originally, then it's kind of defeats the purpose. Even with the characters, I have to do some sort of environment, really. We are watching you now with my daughter at our first stream also. Oh, thank you so much, my friend. That's really cute. That's so cute. I didn't know I had such a varied audience. I thought it was mainly American students and some sort of European students. I didn't think it was sort of daughters and daughters. I don't know, everyone's a daughter, but I didn't think it was like my demographic spread so far. That's nice. Daughters. I'm in love with your art style. It's kind of everything I strive for, but I know it won't turn out that way. What are your favourite things to sketch? Danica, my favourite things to sketch are, well, environments. Overall, probably. I don't do characters despite what's on the screen right now, although you probably notice. My favourite thing in environment will probably be, yeah, even now it's like, it's fantasy, it's forests, it's old kind of crooked cottages surrounded by trees and foliage and magic, and yeah, all that jazz is nice. Old ruins as well, like old ruins from a castle. Kind of lush green fields. I don't know what this is. What's he wearing? It's like a hoodie blazer thing. Old ruins, yeah, lush fields, that kind of thing. you know what, I can't take that much more time on this. I've only got about an hour today, so I want to get to some of you streams for paintovers. So I'm gonna just add some colour to this real quick. Keep it light and sketchy. I'm gonna go with a moody blue, desaturated blue. Maybe like a I'm really riffing here now, so what am I doing? Actually, you know what, I'll make it all darker. Even darker if I can. There we go. I'm calm guy. Looked at your art in college project. Your stuff is nuts. Oh, thanks, mate. That's nice and kind of you. I accept compliments quite easily, I think. I mean, I'm grateful. It's really nice. But at the same time, everyone's working hard. Everyone's studying to be as good as they can be. So it's always nice to get a little bit of appreciation for the effort that nobody sees, really. Like, nobody sees the kind of hours that you spend sketching away on stuff that don't get shown. So it's always nice when someone sort of appreciates you in general, and then you can kind of apply it yourself to all those years or months or weeks if you're starting out sketching when no one's watching. Like this, I probably won't put this anyway because it's just a sketch. Maybe it's a lighting sketch with character, so it's just a quick one. It will only have 2 values, I think. No, it'll be 3. I think I'll separate whatever this is that he's wearing. Can't see. Oh no, what have I done? No, that's wrong. Yeah. Damn it. There we go. This will be like a green. Has anyone sent anything over yet? I'll have to take a look when I stop doing this. I think I want a kind of saturated blue coming from the background. Coming from there, maybe. Yeah, cool. Clipping mask. Nope. This one, clipping mask. Kind of bluey light coming from maybe a bit brighter. Environmental art is what I'm struggling with a little bit, specifically having it synergize well with my character art for my game. I'll send some examples in a few. Yeah, that'd be great, Cody. Yeah, that sounds perfect for what I really do. It's kind of what I do as a day job as well, so that's perfect. How's your 3D art going anyway, Yasmin? I know we mentioned it a few days ago, but how's the Blender going? might do the beard ginger or grey. I do it ginger or grey. Keep it monochromatic, I think. I'll keep it grey. How long have you been drawing? Well, drawing traditionally since forever. Like when I was little, I'd get sketchbooks for Christmas and things like that. So drawing traditionally forever, but I've drawn digitally for about, well, since like 2013. I was so bad as well. I was so bad in 2013 when I transitioned over from traditional. Like I couldn't get the Wacom working. I couldn't get anything working. So I was so bad. So it really is like starting again. So if you draw traditionally, yeah, you're gonna get a bit of a head start, like with things like. Only with things like the fundamentals of drawing, like actually moving, like what's it called, muscle memory and things like that by moving a pencil. But really, it's just about starting again. Cool, I did that. Now this can be brighter and more saturated. Cool. Another clipping mask for like getting the form in there. Thinking about the bounce light and things like that. And this might have like a sharp line just about. Ooh, a little bit of elbow as well, might get a little bit of light. Pencil tool, pencil it in. I think not a lot of people see kind of the rough stages of my art like this. Like it's just like it doesn't matter what layer it's on, it's kind of a concept. I might blend the sketch in now with an overlay. Might do that now actually. Things like that, and I really like the sketchy looseness. Like I'm not too precious about the line art because you can't be precious about that kind of thing. It's better just to start again. I think, to be fair, all this will be bright, actually. Yeah, all this will be bright. Down to about there. Oh no, it's froze. I always have to do this. I'll just save it here. Stream DOM. My colorus or colorus thing keeps crashing on me all the time, so I always have to do a little reset every time. While it's loading though, I will check my Discord. Okay. Friend requests. Oh, Yasmin, you sent something over. How can I improve this painting for a game industry? I'll load this one. Oh, cool, Yasmin, nice. Yeah, I might do a, I might paint over that briefly. It's pretty good already, actually, to be honest. But there's some things I could improve, in terms of like understanding the picture a little bit more, I think. What was your intent with that one, Yasmin? Was it like, what you going for there? What kind of mood? What's the reason for the piece? Is it a concept? Is it a character concept? Is it an environment concept? Is it a mood piece? Is it, you know, all them details? And I'm doing some digital painting studies, and we'll start 3D guy this weekend when I study 3D. Sounds good. Sounds good. Feel free to tag me on Instagram in anything that you do, Yasmin. I always like your stuff. It's quite good, especially the 3D thing. I'm like on the same level as you. 3D. I'm trying to learn. If you don't mind me asking, what's your job? Or are you just doing freelance in the industry? My job is, at the moment, visual development and concept art for a game. I'm working from home, so it's risky to add a colour there. I'm working from home, so it is not like completely in industry, but it is in industry, but it's not in studio. I might add a colour actually. I might add skin tone to this. So my job, it's visual development for a game, specifically one coming out on the Nintendo Switch next year. So that should be fun. Lots of ambient occlusion in there. I don't know about adding skin to this. What kind of? It'll be like a light purple, kind of like that. Maybe darker. I don't know, I'm going to leave it there and see how it plays. I'm going to highlight the nose, maybe a bit brighter, maybe a bit warmer. Yeah, maybe that's okay. Something like that. I'll leave it there while I do the rest, and sometimes it's good just to see how the colour bounces for a couple of minutes off everything else I'm doing. Straight down arc for this. How are you finding quarantine? We got another 3 weeks from today. Do you have any project planned to pass the time? Danica, where are you from? You from the UK, America, Europe? Because I'm handling the quarantine okay. It's not affected me too much. Because I work from home anyway, as I said, so it's not too much of a problem. I continue to do the work, and it's nothing much changed for me really, if I'm honest. It's annoying I can't go to the pub, but I'm okay with that for now. My birthday in like 10 days, less than 10 days, so I can't celebrate that, which is a bit annoying, but you roll with the punches. Thank you. It is a project in my art station. It's the illustration and some props. Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, I think because Yasmin's always been so active, I'll give Yasmin's a go. I might be able to squeeze another one in before the end of the stream. Depends whoever sends one next, or whoever's got anything. What am I doing with this character? I need to give him some life. Yeah, I'm just going to merge the layers now. His facial hair here would be very kind of much brighter. Oh, and the moustache too. Yeah, now that's reading well. See, now it's got a bit more form that I follow through with the light that I put on the face. Like I had to have it on the beard as well, otherwise it looked a bit lifeless. Maybe that shape Yeah, that works. Hi everyone. Hi, Antonin Schmidt. Hello, mate. How are you doing? Danica, what? Please tell me you'll tell us which game and when it's out. I will tell you the game and when it's out. You'll probably notice it's the only. It'll be. It'll be. I can't tell you anything actually. I shouldn't, just in case. But it's hand painted, and I think it'll be one of the only games on Switch that is kind of hand painted. All of the art is hand painted too, so it's not like I'm just doing the concept art. I'm doing a lot of the in-game art as well, but a lot of the characters are going to be 3D, and like visual effects on top of that will be 3D. But you'll definitely be able to tell it's mine, I think. I have a few games out on mobile and well, all over the place really, all over the world. UK, you sound posh than I do. Did he? Where are you from then? Are you from Wales, England, Scotland, Ireland? I'm not posh, by the way. It's just the way I speak, I suppose. I need to finish this. I'll say up, man. Oh my god, it's half an hour already. I'll finish at 22, and then I'll get on some paint overs. I am enjoying this though. It's kind of fun. Okay, what to do about the skin? Could warm it up, but I can't too much. Don't know if that's too much. Yeah, it might be. Black eyebrows. Kind of beady dominant eyes. I think I can get more colour in here. Oh, it's literally, it's froze again. That's so bad. Oh, it's froze again, like. Right, Discord. Let's see, we've got Fishbone sending a concept, which looks amazing. Oh, that's so good. You got great line weight. The concept itself is pretty good as well. Oh, I love it. Small environment design for a happy witch, potion maker, living in value. The problem facing with a value block out is the block out so moody in real life. But I want to have this more fun, inviting kind of feel to it, going for some Corey Loftus vibes. Corey Loftus, definitely going. You are definitely going for some Corey Loftus vibes. That is spot on. The sketching is so Corey Loftus. It's great. Is that your natural style? That is good. I'm talking about it, and no one else can see it. Like I'll have to show you. Yasmin, castaway that lives in the island but sees mysterious. That's perfect. Okay, I'll definitely start with Yasmin's, but I might move on to Fishbones, and then like keep them coming though, because I'll if I get a lot, I might do a stream tomorrow, as well. I kind of want to get to the point where I'm doing maybe an hour a day, just because I don't mind who turns up and who doesn't really, you know. It's not like you have to turn up for all of the streams, even though I got like quite a small little family on the streams, which is nice. But I don't expect you to turn up every day. But it's just fun just to do and talk. It's fun to draw and talk, actually. I thought it'd be stressful, but it's not. It's quite nice. Is it mobile? The game? No, the game's not. The game's on Switch, but I have a few games on mobile, yeah. I'm literally getting a Switch in a couple of weeks, so I'm down. Oh, that's nice. I need to get one. I really need to get one. Yorkshire's a country name of the dog. Yorkshire. Nice. I know a few people from Yorkshire, actually. Well, they came to Cardiff, where I'm from, but they went back to Yorkshire then. Students, kind of thing. You got a Discord server or people just DMing you? People just DMing for now, but when I finish the stream, I'll add anyone who wants to be added to the server, because I do have one set up already. These hands would be glowing like this colour. Oops. It's kind of a weird moody piece, this. Rings on his hand. On his fingers. Where can you find your Discord? I'm going to, I'll just post it. It's in the comments at the top, but I'm going to post it again. I'll just, give me a second. Copied, and I'll post it there. It doesn't have a server yet. I do have one, but it's been dead for a while, so I gotta rebrand it. Maria Iron Fishbones was emulating him. I did a lot of master studies of his pieces, really tried to bring it down, his design language. I think that's where the magic comes from. It's so Corey Loftus. It's really good. It's really good. I love it. I won't be able to improve I won't be able to prove it much at all, really, but I'll definitely give it a go, see what we can do. Oh no. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave this kind of in this state. It's not that fun to leave it like this. I didn't expect to get very far, really, with the character render. But you can see what I was going for. This can be definitely red. Yeah, you see what I was going for there. Very moody, very sort of low lighting. Low values. Values are still grouped, but they're just at a low level. Maybe it's like snowing, kind of like a moody Santa in the snow. Santa in the snow. There we go, signature bursting out of the canvas down here that everybody likes. Pat them together, there's my character. Kind of cheated, it's not full body, but I suppose face is the hardest thing to do, so there we go. It's sort of what I achieved. I might put it somewhere. But for now, let's create a block. Okay, let's see what we got. I'm excited to do the paint overs. Let's go, Yasmin. Open original. Soon copy image and paste. Hello, Yasmin, up on the big screen. Nice. Okay, close this. And OBS. A lot of Southerners came up to my uni and in comparison, my Cardiff is definitely posher for sure. Not a lot of people sound like me around here. I get that you don't sound like you're from here kind of vibe, which I don't mind. It's my own voice, so it's fine. Maybe I'm putting on a little bit of a posh voice so people understand me, but I mumble quite a lot, which you probably picked up on. I'm sat so close to the screen. It's unbelievable. I'm sat so close to the mic as well. I appreciate you offering these paintovers for everyone. That's fine. That's fine. Again, like I said, I learn a lot from doing them as well, so that's good. That is awesome. Thank you, James. Thank you, Yasmin. All right, on to Yasmin's work. Cool. Okay, so. Oh, I'm excited. It's nice. All right, I'm gonna have to zoom it down so to paint big. It's not going to be like a full paint over, obviously. It's going to be less time than I even spent on that character, but it's just about immediately improving things that might... improving little things that you can change that will improve the piece overall, I guess. So it's an environment concept, like an environment, like you're creating a different world, and you're seeing the world through the eyes of this guy here, I suppose. Okay, so... first thing I notice is that you've got a little bit of a focus point. So this is your focus point. You kind of the aspect ratio of the canvas here is, I'm painting right on the good thing. Aspect ratio of the canvas here is, it's a long one. So if you were going to do rule of thirds, it will be a little bit more spread out, I suppose. But you're kind of aiming for that there. You got that there, which is good. The focus is clearly this character here because all this is warm. So it's all brought to the front, and all this is cool colours. So you're thinking like purples and blues, and then all this is warm. So you've got the limes and you've got oranges and reds in there. So that's good too. What I would suggest first probably is maybe the level of well, firstly I suppose, okay, so this character is the focus point, but he's looking out here, and I'm not particularly sure what he's supposed to be looking at. Some people think that like having a focus point like a character in a scene is like a main focus point, and it is, and it's good because we can relate to being human, and we kind of search for that in our pieces. But yeah, so we look at them and then we look at where they're looking as well. So this is a face too. So it's kind of when you're imitating it, I'm kind of looking up here. So I'm kind of wondering what's up here. I'm looking at this guy. I'm wondering what's up here. And it could be that he's looking at this or this, but it's not very clear. And if he is looking at this, then this automatically becomes a focus point, and that might go against what you're trying to do. So if I were you, I would put something here. So he's looking almost directly at it. I would remove this, get it up. I'll just paint over it now, I suppose. I would have something here, something interesting to look at, something kind of a little bit crazy, like a formation of rocks, or even like a skull face island, something like that. Whatever it is, it could be anything, but it's just got to be prominent. So I'll remove this just to clear up the land a little bit more, clear up the land so the focus remains on this guy. You can have distant mountains here that barely read, but you don't want to push. What am I on the main boy? But you don't want to push any focus away from what you're trying to see. So I'd have something. I would even perhaps move a lot of that, and maybe push this back altogether. The problem with like doing a paint over or something like that is that there is about 1,000 different ways in which you can go, and that maybe not one of them would be kind of what you were going for. So it's all different, but you can see immediately now that like it gets rid of the clutter from here, and you're just immediately looking at this, and then looking at this, because he's looking at that, if that makes sense. Cool. Okay, I'll just have a think. What else can we do? The level, the render detail of the material here can probably do with a little bit of work. That's just learning how to sort of render material a little bit better. So I'm not sure. The lighting source is pretty good. The lighting source here, that's pretty good. It's illuminating this area here, illuminating this back. But I'm not the best with characters, but I'll try and help in a way I can. But I would have a much sharper line here, just because that'll bring out the contrast against the dark sea behind you. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's nice. I like you got the shadow here and dark here. That's good. That shows the form. The shadow's in the wrong direction, I think. I think if you're thinking of the light here, it's shooting out, landing here. The shadow would be cast maybe almost directly this side. Yeah, I think the shadow would be cast probably this side, or if anywhere, like maybe here. But the shadow is too far forward, I think, there. Again, let's have a look. Okay. Another thing I'd suggest is the canvas only needs to be as big as it needs to be, really. So if there's a reason for it being this long, in industry that'll be something like the aspect ratio of the film, or if you're doing like a panoramic shot, then you would have a long shot like this. But it kind of, what you want to do is clip in on the focus point. So yeah, you have a lighting source here. That's fine if that's the focus. If you didn't even need the lighting source, you can cut that off and just have him illuminated off screen. But this bit down here, it's good for world building, but I'm not sure why it's here completely. It depends what it adds to the piece, really. If it's like I got quite a calm vibe from this piece. It's like you got a lot of it's a bit of an evening sunset here. You got your purples in the clouds. You can tell that the sun is going down, it's setting somewhere, and you've kind of mimicked that with the evening sun coming from the fire on this guy, which is good. Flat. You could probably lower the sea line too. Let's have a read of the comments a second. If you want to understand more about the piece, yeah, sure. The sky is so pretty, giving me Steven Universe. It is Steven Universe vibes, yeah, it's definitely. I was also thinking that the colours are very pretty. So, Yasmin, is that yours? Yes. Yeah, the colours are very pretty. It's, as far as it goes, it's a pretty good piece. I would improve maybe the message that you're trying to send there, because compositionally it was a little bit all over the place with the guy looking over there, but I am focused in on this guy. You could probably, if you wanted, I can't lower it too much, but if the focus was the sea, you might not need the eyeline, the eyeline here. You could probably lower that down quite a bit. I can't do this without ruining a lot of the image, but if you try and bear with me while I do this. You can lower the sky level down quite a bit, the bit to there, which brings you into a better line of sight with this character here, so you're more even with the character if you're supposed to be empathizing with him. And then what that will create is this silhouette here. So you got you've got this whole area here with nothing in it but this, and it's like this is piercing. It's piercing the sky now, so it's very kind of like black on white. So it demands your focus here. I would even go as far as maybe, because I don't know what this is here, I would say it isn't worth being in the piece, because it's just distracting my attention from this. So even if you remove that too, I was guilty of putting things in that didn't really need to be there for years anyway, so I completely understand. But see what I mean? If you kind of reel things in a little bit, change the perspective to match what you're trying to give, like a more calming piece, because the more flat everything is, the more calm a piece will feel as well. I don't know what this island is, by the way. It's like a skull island. It's not very peaceful if you're looking at a skull island, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's like I've lowered that eye line now, so it's almost flat through the image, and that demands your attention here. This poking above the horizon demands your attention. You can probably bring in a bit of foreground as well to add a bit of depth. So you've got, let's see, what kind of light. Your lightest value is this. Your darkest value is, your lightest value, you've got that there. You've got quite a dark value. What am I doing? There we go, lightest value. You've got quite a dark value here, right next to each other, which is fine, but which means that you can mask that off there, so that would be quite nice if that was that kind of value, because the light had gone down. Maybe you can have like the evening sort of sunlight hitting this just to draw extra attention to it. Five weeks on it. That's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna what I'm gonna do is probably keep it brief. I don't want to go over everything that I would change about the piece, because again, like I said, I don't know your intention with the piece, so it always changes. I'm just thinking I can improve a few technical things here and there, and by doing that with like a little bit with everyone's piece, perhaps like I'll get around to everything. Like I could do like value group in here. I could do things like, right, you've got your sky as one value group, and that's quite light, that's quite good. You've got this as a middle value group, which is also good because you've got that, but I would brighten that up a little bit just to make sure it's the middle ground. And then with this, if it is in as much shadow as I think it should be in, then it would have a bit darker. It would have a bit darker of a value than you've given it there, really. So it can really stretch, and then that will make that light pop even more than if it's on a darker canvas here. But yeah, pretty good. I like the piece. Even before I change anything, I think it's still a good piece. I just like to do like little paint overs like this, I do it to my own work as well. I do it to my own like work from a year ago, and I try and like change things and see what I do better, and that proves that I've learned stuff when I do it that way, which I would recommend to anyone. Just go back and kind of look at their work and go, how would I improve that now? And you are actually speaking out loud the lessons that you've learned over that year, so it's pretty good. I definitely want to do more of yours though, Yasmin, because you're always on stream, so feel free to send over any other work, or even the same one again, and I'll go over something else. I'll go over value groupings then, or something like that, composition. But I hope that was somewhat helpful to you. The shoots are so something more about the world. I see. I have to leave early. It sucks. I'll definitely be in next stream. I hope everyone has a nice day. Oh, bye, Danica. Bye, 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 bye. You can do everything you want, man. Always 5 weeks on it. Thank you, Danica. You too. Awesome. Thank you very much. Yasmin, I hope you did learn at least a little something from that. Again, I can do a lot more with a lot more pieces. It's pointless me going over and painting everything on the one piece, isn't it? You know, you want to see a little bit of everything, I suppose. What am I doing now? Where is the Fishbones guy? Oh, wait, was Fishbones? Who was that again? I'm going up. Who was Fishbones? Maria. Maria was Fishbones. I got it. Maria was Fishbones. Maria. Ooh, that's a big piece. This is Maria, everybody. It's nice, isn't it? It's really nice. Oh, it's so nice. I love the line weight. What did you want to know, Maria? What was it? Was it value grouping? You said. Like you're not sure about where you would put the value, or let me know when you can. What it is you wanted me to look at. I'm going to apply this on my next one. That'd be great, Yasmin. Yeah, definitely do that. I'd even like paint over your own ones and apply what you learned and stuff. Will you be doing these paint overs again in the future? I'll do them. Yeah, I could do them once every couple of days. Definitely. I'll only be on for about an hour and 20 minutes. But yeah, I can definitely do them. I learn a lot by doing them as well. Yep, the value grouping. Okay, value grouping. Most basic. I can set this on overlay because it's only a sketch. I believe this should work if I filled in that and then filled in dark. Yeah, cool, I got it. Right, value grouping. Yeah, so basically I'll teach you what value grouping is on the side, and then I'll apply it to your piece. Okay, so basically, right. So compositionally, most landscapes, and there's everything I say means most, but definitely not all, or it's very common, but it's definitely not all. So here are your values on the side here. You have, say, white is 10 and black is 0. There's 10 stages in between here generally. You can basically make up 1,000, but like if you're moving in blocks, then you're making up 10. Imagine 10 sort of segments between here and there. And what you want to do, what normally happens is you get a landscape piece like this. Let's do that one so it's clear. Get a landscape piece. You get the background being very, very bright. You get the foreground being like classic concept art, spiky mountains. Concept art, spiky mountains, and then you get the foreground here. Maybe the character's standing on it there and he's holding a stick, like every piece on ArtStation I've ever seen. There. And value grouping is basically making sure that you maintain that this is light. I can't even spell. This is light. This is medium. Wow, you can't even see medium. You know what I'm trying to say though. That, you know, this is medium. There we go. This is medium, and this is dark. Obviously, when you're painting, you're going to get a lot of texture in there. So you're going to be painting like this, and you're going to have a little bit of that in there, and then you're going to have different values in there, and then you got some more values over here, and then you paint in the texture of the rock, and it's all nice. And even over here, you have snow on the mountain, so that's like change that value and that value, and it becomes muddy in between. What value grouping is consistently trying to keep these strong as you can, really. So between, if you had a light value like that, you can have somewhere like that, and you can have somewhere like that. Those three colors in there, 1, 2, and 3. What you want to do is make sure that the lightest value in the medium isn't as dark as the darkest value in the light, if that makes sense. So like, you want to make sure that like you can go darker down in here, you can go very dark if you wanted to, depending on what you're trying to do. But then the lightest value in this foreground is still darker than the darkest value in the midground, if that makes sense. I'm going to try and apply that now. I'm going to keep this up just so you can take a look at it to try and understand what I mean. So you can bounce in between. So say that's 10 and that's 1, and then you got 5, and then you got in between there, and then you got in between there, and then even that one there, and that one there, and even that one there, and that one there. So let's say those are all your values here. You'd pick those 3 for your sky in the background, those 3 for your midground, and those 3 for your foreground. That is and should be slightly darker than that one. This one should be slightly darker than this one, which it kind of is if you can just about see that. So you want to just keep them grouped together, and I'm going to try and do that with this here. I hope that made sense. That was how I learned, and that was what works for me, and it's consistent, I suppose. So with value grouping, it's the same thing here. So what you want to do is define your areas. It could just be 2. You could just have foreground and background. Drop my stylus. You could just have foreground and background, which works. That is basically me teaching you value grouping. You applying it to this would depend on what kind of mood you're going for, what kind of what kind of everything really, what you're aiming for. Oops. Clipping mask with that. There we go. That doesn't work. What? Oh yeah, clipping mask. There we go. No, that doesn't work. I need to go overlay, so I can't have a clip mask. Oh, that's annoying. I'll just do this. And now I get a clip mask. Cool. Okay. But if there are questions, yeah, the group and value, trying for a happy, inviting value blackout. It's a bayou forest. I wanted to avoid being moody. Okay, so you want it to be kind of light and happy then, I suppose. Thank you guys, you're awesome, man. Thank you, Isaac. Yes, makes sense, learning a lot. But if there's some clouds, yeah, with clouds, like I said, it's not every there are exceptions, and it's going to change a little bit. Like you put some clouds in there, that's still going to be bright. If you wanted to do some moody clouds, just that would look wrong anyway. That looks wrong automatically. You don't have to go as dark as you think you do. Everything's relative. So if you went a little bit dark on the clouds there, that's still a very dark cloud, because you are telling the viewer that the clouds are very far away because of how bright they are, or because that you mask them behind the mountain like that. They go behind the mountain. So instantly we know by overlapping. Overlapping is another big one, because you can have a value that's almost as dark down here and one that's up here and one that is there. And it's like you can't tell if that's in front of what? In front of the mountain or in front or behind the mountain, but it's just a very dark thing. But that's all to do with like overlapping as well, making sure that you have no tangents and that you're overlapping correctly. But yeah, clouds like that, if like clouds go light naturally. If you want like bright clouds down here, that's fine, but look, you don't have to go white. It will still be bright, because if you kept a value group and you can go 3 values lighter and it's still incredibly bright compared to the foreground, because it's so dark, and compared to the mountain, because that's dark as well. I hope I'm making sense. That's how I learned it, and I think you all get it. I can always go over it a couple more times with better examples. Okay, so oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing. If I go with an overlay on top of this, that should work. There we go. No, not on it. On there. I've forgotten how to draw. Forgotten how to use Photoshop. I want to get that. That's an overlay. Underneath. Yeah, good. Nice. So, okay. Yeah, if you want to make... okay, so... if you want to make something bright, everything's relative, so you need some dark in there for something to look bright. Like if you were here on my last stream when I was doing the desert sketch, then I illustrated it there with you don't need whites in your image to make something look very bright. It just has to be next to something very dark for it to look bright, I suppose. I don't want to ruin your line art, so I'm only going to be doing value overlays. Okay, foreground tree, yeah, that could be dark. It's about making a note of how dark you know you're going, and again, painting's about pushing and pulling, so it's not about like having something perfect from the first brushstroke. It's about editing that, that looks very dark compared to this now because it's bright, but if I did that, it isn't very dark at all, so then I would go over it again and adjust the darkness quite a lot actually, but because everything's relative. But what I would do, I can't really group in this one too much. Well, I could, I suppose. Clean that up a little bit. Because it's a forest, what you might get as well is like focus lighting coming down on the treehouse. And it's so nice as well. The line art on this one's so great. But what I would do is have something like a focus light that still, you can still use value grouping with this as well. There we go. It's just about separating. Value grouping works in compositions as well. So even when you're doing things like okay, so I'll separate the house from the background because I want it to be the focus. So I'll make it have slightly darker values. I'll make the entire area not white. I'll give it a slightly above. Now, because it's overlay, I'm going to have to do it darker. Bear with me, guys, bear with me. I would block out your scene like this when you're starting to. I would make sure I kind of get, so this kind of comes into the level of foreground that I would suggest being with the house. There we go, that's quite a nice shape. So you should have like 1, 2, and then maybe 3 here, although this is questionable, this one here, because it doesn't really add too much to the image at all. It's not, in fact, it doesn't add anything to the image. I would consider removing it just because it's a little bit of clutter. It doesn't complement the composition at all. You've got a little bit of like, I would say, like kind of leaning in towards it, but if you did have a tree, I would have it kind of, it depends on your mood, but I would have it like coming over here and framing the tree as best you can, framing the house, sorry, as best you can, but that's if you want kind of like a cluttered feeling, claustrophobic. I might part these trees too. There we go. I can go darker on the home. There we go. I'd kind of keep it something like this. Because you don't have a definitive background, foreground and midground. Not too much anyway, that it's difficult to do value grouping on this, but what I would do is value grouping on the individual house. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that, then copy that, bring it down, get rid of everything else. Overlay on top of that, and there we go. I would do your value grouping on your house as well. So it works on everything. You want to make sure that everything is grouped correctly. So I would separate, personally, this is me personally, I would separate the roof to be maybe even the lightest value. It's kind of like thatched roofing, isn't it? Thatched roofing, there we go. Separate that, and then separate the wood from everything else. So you kind of group in your materials. Grouping your materials, it works in that case as well. It's just because, and value grouping works because paintings can get very complicated. They can get very very busy. So what's really sort of easy on the eye is when you simplify everything, and you do that before you've even started painting. So you're grouping in these values like that. So you've got, I can go darker on that again. And if you notice, a lot of sketches for concept art, they're just value groupings. Let's have a read of the comments a second. Oh wow. A bit of some clouds. Hi Kay. Hi. After doing this, how do you put the colour in? I'll show you, Yasmin. It's not as difficult as it might seem. When value blocking does have local colour play any importance, I understand that the furthest object would get atmospheric perspective and would be pretty much monochromatised by the colours. But would the foreground, midground have local colours playing into the value distribution? It would, which is why everything kind of starts from the very beginning, starts from the concept. So if I did something that like the local colour, well, this is kind of grouping via local color as well, because you group in via material. So what you want to do, like, this is taking away your background, by the way. This is, it wouldn't have these values if your background was in there, because it's too white here and it's too dark there. It's taking up too much of the of the range. It needs to be grouped closer together, but because it's just on its own as a concept, then it can be basically like your roof has all of the whites from, where's my image gone? Your roof is in this category here. This category here. Your roof is in there, and your wood is in there, and then this middle bit here, whatever that material is in this group, and that's why the image already kind of like reads so well, because it's already broken down in that way. I would also I would continue that theme and have the all go against it. I mean, again, art isn't really a science; it's a little bit of everything. I would have those in that. Oh, it wasn't that bright, was it? Because the overlay. So I would have those in that kind of value there, and then have the wood as we have everything else in the darker one. Or you could even keep it like that and have this wood object as the darker value. Not that dark. There we go. And you can kind of see how it reads anyway, but the local color, when blocking, does local color play any importance? It doesn't. Yeah, it does play kind of an importance, because you have to understand that local, it's not so much the local color but the local material. So if you had a how to show an example of this, if you had a ball here and it was made out of metal, everyone paints the ball, the metal would have a beam of light coming down there. You'd have a little bit of backlight in under there, a little bit of bounce lights under there, but the metal ball would have this bright what's it called, specular highlight on the top, whereas a wooden ball would have, obviously, would be much more muted, would have would spread and diffuse the light a little bit, so you would have in between the bark and everything, it would look a lot more like that. So already you're playing with values when you're playing with materials, so it's not necessarily about the local color, but it is about the local material that you're thinking about. You couldn't have a metal in the foreground, right in the foreground, shining that bright sun off its bouncing specular light like this, because it would be too much of a bright value. That image could possibly never look good just because of that. You have to consider that when you're starting out, I suppose. She knew that Matt lives for forests. Fantastic work, pure talent. There's so much actually in the scenes you create. You inspire me into digital art and can't wait for your amazing videos. Thank you for sharing knowledge. Jellica, this is paint over, so thank you if you're talking about the paint over, but also this is Maria's sketch, so it's her work too, which is very good. If you have taken any, which courses do you recommend to learn about environment, concept art and digital painting? I was researching what TG Master Academy. Does anyone here have experience with those courses? I don't have CGMA experience with any of those courses, no. I would see these days a lot of your teaching you can get from YouTube. Like I'm teaching you things that I learned from online courses, from online tutors, and just by being in the industry, stuff that you learn. So again, I think YouTube you can learn a lot. Some of them are overpriced, but you can find studios now, smaller studios, that offer you just the same level of commitment, like just the same level of paint over and homework and feedback from professional artists that aren't on CGMA. So it's just about doing a little bit of research. Sometimes you have to find different countries, but they do have English courses or whatever language you speak. I'm going to do a teaching course in English for a Ukrainian company, for example. So they are about quite a few of them. CVS Learn, I've heard of those, yeah. The schoolism is pretty good. I'm taking the Samuel's classes. That's what's right now until consider Brazil. Nice. Okay, guys, yeah. So value grouping kind of works in that way. It is basically these rules. Make sure you apply them kind of to everything you do. So make sure that whatever you're grouping like this, if I was to go in now and paint, which, there we go, finally no overlay, I can actually paint now. So I take this light, I can mess around up here, I can change the values to anywhere around here. With the mid-ground one, I can be anywhere around here, and with the darkest one, I would play around with these values down here, but I kind of won't break out of that, because that will defeat the object of value grouping and why we do that. So I will highlight the light like that. If I wanted to highlight the bark on here, I would take that, I would only increase it a little bit, more. But again, this value here, this exact value here, should not be brighter than the darkest value in the lights. So the darkest value in the lights is there, and you can see now it jumped from there to there. So it's quite a big gap between the mid and the bright. So maybe we can breach that a little bit by painting. But always bear it in mind when you're painting, and you'll never have an ugly value image. Then I don't think you should never. It doesn't come into play when you're thinking about shadows as well, like when you're thinking about lighting and shadows. So that's why digital art is so difficult, I suppose. It's such a difficult thing to master, because there's so many things you have to consider, and it's not like one rule works on everything. I don't think it works that way. So I would never go out of this kind of range for my lights, and for my mids I would stay within this range. You can go quite dark, but I would only kiss the very top. I wouldn't go below that. And if you keep to that, you should have quite a nice image. I think value grouping works with anything, with characters as well. You take any character and it's like you can group, have a mid-ground character for his skin. I don't know what this character is, but then his clothes would be, maybe his top would be the darker values here, so you can play around with the darker values on his top. And then I don't know why he would have light trousers, but the light could be his trousers, and then you could go again with the dark on the shoes. Do you see what I mean? So it works no matter what. It's kind of like, no matter how bad the image, like this one, it kind of works. You can play around in the mid-ground to get his mid hair, or even you can group his hair separate. But I would group in the same way that you know about composition. So I would group in keeping things separated, big, medium and small, that kind of thing. It really works here because you've got Maria's got like this big image here, this medium house, and then this small house, and we've grouped in between those two. As you can see, everything's got a balance to it. It's even got like medium block of light there, big block of medium, and then small block of dark. If that makes sense. Okay, I hope you understand something. I hope that helped a little bit. It refreshed my mind of what value blocking is, but I do that all day, every day. Value blocking is just natural now. I do. Sometimes I don't even sketch. I just jump in straight with some values like this guy here. And you can see what you can get. Just make sure you group them, and you should never have I say never, but you should not really have a bad image, really. Okay, I think that's about it. It's not called Artcraft, no, Lola. Hi, Lola. It's not called Artcraft, no. It's called something. I'll double check and I'll get back to you. It's called, I can't remember. It's called something. Oh, so frustrating. I'll get back to you. I'll message you. Hi, Lola. What do you think of FZD school? I learned so many lessons watching their YouTube videos over the years. The school itself, I don't actually know anyone from there, or that have graduated from there, but I can only assume that they're amazing. That's pretty perfect. What's coming out of that school at the moment. I learned so much from the YouTube videos though, so definitely worth a check. There's some good artists doing streams on Twitch that's always want to teach them things. Yeah, as well, like if you just find out, like there's hundreds of artists that are in the industry that are doing streams, well, just like me, I suppose, and doing them a lot better, because I'm a little bit slapstick with it. It's kind of like the worst stream ever, where I just make up things on the spot and like get paint overs on the spot without any preparation. I should do a little bit of preparation next time, and maybe I can give you more exact feedback. If you send over an image and you give me a sentence of exactly what you want to learn, then I can definitely craft it more evenly to it. But yeah, again, I hope you learned some things from these two. Okay, nice, thank you so much. I'm glad you're here. There are some arts on to teach you something. Chat, thanks very much. Yasmin teaching, nice. Yusuf in there, thank you very much for answering, really appreciate it. The colour, yes, Yasmin, the colour. And Maria, thank you. I just have to kick myself out of comfort zone and then get on these those value studies. Yeah, your line art is so good that I wouldn't worry about your line art at all. Just start doing with some values and the color after that. Then how would I do color on this? Okay. Well, I would keep the line art off for starters. I've already merged the two together. But color is almost exactly the same thing. So color has the same kind of rules that I would apply. So say if we go up here, get this kind of yellow here. Again, I wouldn't. Oh, it froze again. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's froze again. That's mad. It only does it like once a day. It's done it 3 times in an hour. That's so annoying. I'll just close that, and not Steam. Load Photoshop back up. Add some people on Discord. Oh, nice. Oh, that's a really nice piece. Oh, I definitely want to do some paint overs of these. These are really good. Concept art's really nice as well. I'm not going to show them yet, just because I'm not doing a paint over of them, but I will get to them definitely. There's such talented artists though. It's really good. I like it. Makes me learn. What was I doing? Oh yeah, so get your overlays. The only way I'm gonna be able to do it now. But it kind of works in the same way with color. Like I could apply color on an overlay layer and then you would balance it. But like I did with the character at the start, if it's a concept, don't worry too much about it being so clean. If it's a portfolio piece that you might want to go back and edit, or if it's for a client that you might need to edit, then I would break it down a little better than this. But again, I would keep it the same, like one value there, maybe an analogous color for the wood. No, that's the medium wood, isn't it? Yeah, medium. Analogous color for the medium, and then yeah, maybe I'll keep it all analogous, or maybe complementary. Yeah, we'll do one sort of complementary, kind of painted blue. Wow, maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we shouldn't do that. Yeah, it's not coming through very well on the overlay. That was quite nice if you actually worked on it, and if I actually did a better job. But yeah, you can see what I mean. I would add color directly with an overlay, but again, color works in the same way. So you can group with color if you want. If you notice, some of the like early 90s pieces, they grouped in like very mad neon colors. Like they grouped like this just to make sure they had groupings between things. You might have noticed some images in like some old concept art books where they just group, they value group like mad colors like that, something like that, just to make sure that they got everything masked, and then they go in and actually paint the local color. But value grouping and like color grouping like this it's all very important. It all helps you become a little bit better. It's a technical thing as well, so it's just a practice thing. The easiest way to practice would just be to initially concept a piece with a mid-ground, a foreground, and a background, and then design the piece specifically with value grouping in mind, and then literally get a value that's like down there, get one that's up there, and then get one that's up there as well. That's quite a high what's it called, like a high value mask, a low value mask, sorry. And if you have like a high value mask, you can have like quite high there. See what I mean? And that's like again, that's completely different, but it's still got that separation in there. I would have, I would do an image, do a sketch, make sure it's got a middle, foreground and a background, and then value group, and have your group on the side here. Just have your mids, have your highs, and make sure that you don't paint out of those. And do it in black and white. That's fine. Do it in black and white, so you're teaching yourself. But then start to apply it with the color. Like when you've got a color piece. Like, let's go back to the character from the start. Like with this guy, make sure that, I mean, this really doesn't count because it doesn't have the three rules. But like if you color pick, you can check what value you are just by lining up to the closest black. And then you can see that's the midground there, and then that's a high. So my brightest point is up here, but really if you want to midground it, it's kind of only, my brightest point is only a middle grey value. It's not that bright. It just looks brighter because the whole image is darker. But even that's value grouped in a way. This character is grouped against the background because the darkest value on the character isn't as dark as the lightest value on the background. If that makes sense. Okay, I think I'll leave it there. I rambled on long enough. Value grouping is very interesting. I really like it. It helped me learn a lot. Yeah. Ooh, what am I doing now? Hi Matt, my Photoshop is on the same issue. I don't know how to fix it. Yasmin, it's so annoying, isn't it? It's so annoying. It's like I pay for Photoshop now. I've been paying for a good year or two, and even then it's still just, the color wheel crashes. I know this is a plugin, and I don't really like. What's the color wheel on Photoshop like? Not that. Jesus Christ. Extensions. Adobe Color Themes, is that what it's called? This thing over here. This thing, it's good, but I prefer the. Is it Colorus? I prefer that because this froze a few times too. I mean, it gives you nice analogous colors and stuff, but and you can go quite far with a complementary. Actually, it's quite cool. Actually, I might use it. I don't know if this keeps freezing, I'll use it. But yeah, it's so annoying when it freezes. You can fix the the windows. Yeah, I need to. I can't use Apple though, so I need my Windows. I thought only I having a problem with Photoshop. Oh, everyone's having problems with Photoshop. It's just there's no problem with Mac. I hate Apple. I can't use it. The mouse is the worst thing for me. The mouse, the default mouse that you use with the Apple computers, it's like I can't tell if I'm clicking or not, or if I'm right clicking or left clicking. Oh my god, say thank god. Matt, I think you're not doing out there streaming many questions. Thanks for the explanation. Thank you, Yasmin. I try. I really try. I try so hard. But yeah, I hope you did learn something. I'm definitely going to get some more paint overs because it was quite fun. And I learned a lot as well, so yeah, it's good. It was only supposed to be an hour today, but I've done an hour and 45. Wow. I was only supposed to be on for an hour. Okay. Yeah. The mouse is so slow. Yasmin, the mouse is slow. Sorry, Lola. It is so slow. It's so slow. And the lag for me, yeah, I had a bit of that. I used it in college, but I haven't used it since, and I've never gone back. Windows for the win. Even though my colorist is a little bitch. That's fine. Okay, I'm good. I'm done. Alright. I might stream tomorrow if I feel like it. I'll let you know on the Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that, and I'll definitely add everyone to the server that wants to be. Just message me saying server, and I'll send you the link in that. All right, thank you everyone. Thanks for joining. I will see you next time. Okay, bye.